listening to TC Talks on TNT.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's TC here, back with another episode of TC Talks, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Week 5 NFL predictions. But before we dive into that, I want to apologize for being gone for so long. Just a bunch of work stuff. My boss is selling her business. I started doing more at that business as well. So a lot of ins and outs, moving and grooving. And on top of all that, I have some fans that reached out to me about a rather serious personal issue that they have going on. It's affecting a bunch of people. I'm sure you know somebody who's been impacted by this, and that is their father has completely lost everything due to Hurricane Ian. They sent me videos, they sent me photos of the way their car looks, the way that his house looks. So if you want to be able to help him out and, help him be able to get at least a car or, some tools so we could work to get that car, go ahead and check the description down below. We're going to be having that link for his GoFundMe, and you can go ahead and see some of the damage yourself through the pictures they posted as well. It is just an unfortunate situation. I mean, he had just moved there. I believe they said, I don't remember when they said, but it was sometime in, like the spring or something like that. This year, I know it was this year, but in either case, it is a bad situation. And honestly, I'll do what I can. I hope you guys do what you can as well. And if you can't afford to give anything, just your support down in the comment section below would be a tremendous help. A great thanks to you for doing anything you can to contribute. But let's get into the fun side of today. Enough looking back on, what almost made Tampa Bay play in Minnesota. We'll focus on this week's predictions for Week 5. Now, Week 4 was not good. It was a little bit better than Week 3, 9-7 on the week, but still, we're looking for better numbers this time around, and I think it's going to start off well with this first pick. I'm picking the Broncos over the Colts in Thursday Night Football, but this is an ugly horse matchup, and honestly, these horses would not stay racing for too long. They might suffer a broken leg or something like that. But in either case, I still see the Broncos as a better team. They got the better defense. The Colts, despite beating Kansas City, just looked completely awful last week. So I got to go with the Broncos in this one. And maybe Russell Wilson will finally get into the groove. Then we got the Giants traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. And the Packers finally not playing a team that is riddled with injuries, but they are playing a low-level team in the New York Giants. Now, luckily for the Packers, they get to beat up on a 3-1 team to make it seem like they're not really bullying an NFC opponent. But let's be real, the Giants are a false 3-1 team, and the Packers are bullies for what they're going to do to the Giants. Then the Lions travel to New England to take on the Patriots, and it is yet another NFC North opponent going to take on New England, and I think they're going to be able to secure the victory in this one, even if Mac Jones does not play. I think the New England defense looked really good. The offense somehow was gelling really nicely, even with a third-string quarterback. So I got a lot of hope for New England in this one. And the Lions, they are known to give up just as many points as they score. So I got to go with the Patriots in this one. Then the Chargers take on the Browns in Cleveland, and I got to roll with the Chargers in this one. Justin Herbert has been absolutely phenomenal, but if he doesn't play, if that rib injury affects him or anything like that, I still give the Chargers the credit because their defense is phenomenal. They have tons of weapons on offense. Meanwhile, the Browns are trying to suffer through the 11-game suspension of Deshaun Watson with Jacoby Brissett, who's carried the ball pretty well. He's done a decent job coming into the starting position, but last week his true colors started to show. Perhaps this week he will get back into winning fashion, but I got to roll with Justin Herbert in this one. Then the Texans travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, and I got to go with Trevor Lawrence and the Jags in this one. Trevor Lawrence needs a bounce-back game, and I think it's going to come against a weak Texas team. Then you got the Falcons taking on the Bucs, and let's be honest, the Falcons got lucky last week, and honestly, it's the Bucs. It's Tom Brady. It's that big offense, that big defense going up against the Falcons, who have shown some life this year. We'll give them that credit, but at the same time, they're going to be without Cordell Patterson as well. So I got to go with the Bucs in this one. Speaking of teams that start with a B and are going to win Week 5, the Steelers travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills, and it is going to be no contest. I've heard some people saying that Kenny Pickett should start this game. He was put in Week 4 in favor of Mitch Trubisky, but I don't see the Bills being the best team for this young quarterback to go up against in his first game. It should be Mitch Trubisky in this game, simply because you don't want to hurt the growth of Kenny Pickett. You don't want him to go out there, get absolutely obliterated and sacked, throw a bunch of interceptions, just look absolutely terrible. Of course, you want that moment to come a little bit, but the impact I feel like the Bills would have on that young quarterback, just tremendous. That defense is phenomenal, even though they are going to be missing some weapons in that matchup. I still got the Bills in that game. Do not start Kenny Pickett. Then you got the Dolphins going to New York at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets, and it's going to be Dolphins all the way. Teddy Bridgewater, I think he'll get back into the groove. He's had a history of being able to make something out of nothing. Let's see if he could do that again here with Miami against the Jets. I think it's going to be possible, especially because it is only the short return of MILF Slayer Zach Wilson. So honestly, I see it going in the Dolphins' favor. And then you have the Bears traveling to Minnesota, and Tyler Farringall, the co-host of the Winner Circle, is actually going to be at this game. So we're going to have to ask him for some photos, some video, anything we can to get some of that extra spicy content for you guys. Get some live footage from the game from Tyler Farringall's phone, perhaps, maybe see some pictures of him at the game, at stadium, something like that. In either case, I got to go with the Vikings. As unfortunate as it is, the Bears just look absolutely terrible. I got to roll with the Purple People Eaters, even though they're not technically called that anymore, for this game. Then the Titans take on the Commanders, and let's be honest, Carson Wentz is a bigger joke than I don't even know, your mama. Oh, you didn't see that one coming, did you? No, you did not. But I see the Titans coming away with the win in this one. Handedly, it's going to be simple and easy for them. But then the Seahawks, Geno Smith, who's looked absolutely incredible for no reason, is going to get the win over the Saints. The Saints are beat up really badly. It's going to be Seahawks all game in this one. It's going to be Ray Rice in an elevator against any women. So 49ers taking on the Panthers at Carolina, and you got to go with the 49ers. Again, Baker Mayfield making Carson Wentz look like a serious quarterback, looking like Tom Brady. So unless Baker Mayfield can get that, playoff form again, I don't see the Panthers putting up much of a contest against the 49ers, especially because Jimmy G is looking really good as of late. If they continue this trajectory, the same playing calling as Game 2, as Game 4, for Game 5, then I see a lot of offense from the 49ers. Then you have the Eagles traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals, and I already know it's going to be Eagles flying high in this one. Kyler Murray has been my fantasy quarterback all year, and he has struggled tremendously. He's put up decent numbers, but still, he's not doing what he needs to get his team over the hump. And I got to go with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles in this one. Then the Cowboys and the Rams square off, and this is going to be a difficult game for me to pick because on the one hand, the Rams have a good team. They're kind of like the White Sox right now, a bunch of talent not able to execute. So, will that talent start to perform in Week 5? I think it's possible. The Cowboys have a pretty weak offense. Maybe that defense will show up. But that Cowboys defense has been absolutely phenomenal. I think it's going to be hard for Matthew Stafford to get things going on offense. It's going to have to be the Rams defense that makes the difference in this game, in the same way that the Cowboys defense is the difference for them alongside Cooper Rush, who's able to manage the game really well. Then you have the Bengals traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens, and I do not see Lamar Jackson dropping back-to-back games like that. I know it's one thing to lose back-to-back, but Lamar Jackson losing in such a heartbreaking way to the Bills is just not going to happen again against the Bengals. I understand Joe Burrow is a fighter, but I don't see Lamar Jackson going scoreless in the second half 2 weeks in a row, so I got to give it to the Ravens in this matchup. And to conclude Week 5, we have the best of best games. It is the Raiders traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. And if you didn't pick up on my sarcasm, this is going to be a complete blowout to end this Week 5. The Chiefs are going to roll all over the Raiders, which is just unfortunate because this was going to be one of the best teams in the NFL. Said a lot of people this offseason, or at least they were hyped on this team coming into the season. So there it is. Those are my predictions. Do you think I'm doing better than 9-7 this week? I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Which games did I get right? Which games did I get wrong? Don't forget, we have our fan whose father's in desperate need of your help. If you could go ahead and donate to his GoFundMe down below, there is a link in the description. If you could just send your thoughts and prayers. If you cannot afford to send anything at this time, that is tremendously appreciated as well. Thank you for all the support you're giving that family. They definitely need it during this time. And thank you for subscribing and commenting down below. Until next time, this has been TC with TC Talks. Peace.